All right, welcome everybody to another installment of Hymns of the Heretics, a Cult Divinity Lost um, role-playing, role-play, live play, and we are on our um, fourth session today. As a reminder to folks that may find this someday um, in the archives of the internet. Cult Divinity Lost is a game that encounters some not safe for work themes and topics, and kind of like as a general warning, we may be talking about violence, some degree sometimes of like body horror or gore, um, some in this case there might be bigotry, religious bigotry. Um, so it's pretty adult themes. So if you're watching or you know, playing, um, be advised. Okay. Last time everybody has all of our player characters have accrued sufficient fucked up experiences to unlock their archetypes. They started off as sleepers, regular schmegular folks just making their way through the world without any serious clue about the truth that lies behind the illusion. And as of the end of last session, everyone's eyes are kind of beginning to open. As a kind of point of order, I was using the word awakening a lot. And I wanted to make it clear that in a cult, an awakened character is like a tier up from where you are now. So you're not fully awakening, you are simply aware of the presence of the truth. Um, I still have some updating to do, but we'll wait until maybe until the break. And we have Zach. Okay, perfect. So last time uh we talked a little bit about what it will what it will look like for your character to become aware. And I have a good idea of what I think that could look like for Josh and for Marsha. I think I have kind of a spooky little thought about that. Um, are you, Josh and Marsha, in the days leading up to the next, uh, kind of your next church day, your next Sunday? Do you think it would be plausible for the two of you, Ethel, maybe your coworker, Noemi from Bucky's, to have another kind of late evening chat about faith, spirituality?
Yeah, Josh would be open to having Kimmy come back to speak with Ethel after a work another night, and would probably honestly encourage it if that was a way to like get in Marcia's good graces.
Marsha's all about it. She thinks Ethel's like a superstar in her eyes, and she's like, yeah, I want to be where Ethel's at. Just in case she has another vision, I want to be there.
Yeah, perfect. So, Zach, your character's like archetype and advantages. I don't think I have them unless I missed them. Um,
We had
but
talked about doing the
uh
Avenger archetype.
Okay.
Well, I never sent you
Okay, okay.
the things that I was thinking, but I can tell you them if you
Well, let's do
uh
this.
yeah.
We'll take a break a little bit later, and you
Yeah,
can play this scene without them.
sure.
Okay, cool. So at the break, I still have to do Willows as well. So anyway, all right. So here's your your scene is um uh, Noemi is a young woman around your age, Josh, that Marsha has been talking to. She is Latina with long dark hair. She has light skin. She wears glasses. She's in, I mean, she doesn't kind of do the modest garb that is expected of the church, typically. Um, but she is in a fairly kind of like modest, maybe like to the rest of the world, modest blouse and jeans. Um, After she changed out of her Bucky's uniform, and the three of you in the evening drive to Ethel's house for dinner, coffee, and dessert. Um, Noemi brings a big grocery bag full of tamales that her family made. So I mean, in her mind, so that you don't have to eat Ethel's nightmare cooking. Um, but I'm sure you and Marcia appreciate Ethel's dinners. So you're all around the kitchen table. You've nuked, a big pile of food, and Ethel is asking how things are going at work. And what do you do?
I think if Ethel were to ask how work is, with being the manager of the other two, I don't expect them to say anything. I'm like, things are going good. It's always so busy at Bucky's. We see so many travelers coming through, and um, it's so great that Noemi is gonna come with us to church on Sunday. I do hope I can get a couple more of our coworkers to follow suit.
Oh, Marcia, in such a short time, you're already such a great example to the young people of our congregation. Um, you really ought to be proud of how, um, how people respond to your testimony of the Spirit. Uh, Noemi is sitting kind of politely, not really like she's not really like putting her stamp of like complete enthusiasm, but she seems to be enjoying being here with you all for now. Um, Josh, do you respond to that?
Probably not.
Okay,
Or not out loud. He's a
okay,
very quiet person, especially in Marsh's presence.
got it. So the evening, um, it just kind of easily slips by. Noemi is kind of telling funny stories about that one time that Josh like slipped on, like a rogue slushy at the trash, by the trash compactor and did like a full flip, landed on his back. Um,
I imagine his face is flush and his head is down, but he's not stopping her from telling the story.
and she does it, with good nature, and it's a ribbing, it's a teasing, it's not mean-spirited or cruel. And the evening grows dark, and um, suddenly it's nighttime. Um, Noemi says, "Right, it was great to see everybody. I gotta head home." She leaves you all with the leftovers, gets in her truck, and drives away. Um, Minutes later, Marcia and Josh, you hear like a clicking and a scraping at the back door, just a few steps away from where you're sitting in the kitchen.
You expected more visitors, Ethel?
I surely did not at this hour.
Shall I get the door?
As you are kind of back and forth about opening the door, you hear it slowly creaking open.
As soon as that door starts to open, Josh stands up and gets ready to defend whatever he needs to defend from. That
Okay.
man is built for paranoia.
Um, you turn and you you have to kind of step a couple of steps out of the kitchen to see the door.
Mhm.
So you step out of the kitchen and face the door. Yes?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 100%.
You see an empty door frame. There's like a weird pressure, a feeling of dread, and like a shade or a shadow in the doorway. You can try to see through the illusion if you like.
Partial success.
Okay. So you kind of sensing that there's something really wrong here. You kind of squint your eyes, you furrow your brow to really like focus on whatever's there.
Mhm.
And before you realize it, everything in Ethel's home begins to kind of like burn away. Like if someone took a lighter to tissue paper, and instead of standing in this like cozy, kitschy Texan home, it's feels like you are, or what you see around you is like a combination between a hedge, a cage, a maze, made of like thin and long, uh, kind of spiny, um, like reed. And
Mhm.
you see the thing in front of you that's appeared. Uh, it's 8 foot tall. It stands on two spindly legs that end at points. It supports is its like massive bulbous torso on long thin arms that also end at points. The skin of it is pale and bumpy, like boiled chicken skin. You can smell sulfur emanating from it. Um, there's two dark holes imposed on like the top of it, and a kind of curled fold that could be a mouth. Go ahead and roll to keep it together. Marcia, you see everything that I just described, except for the creature. Go ahead and also roll to keep it together. Marcia, tough as nails, as always. Okay. Josh, go ahead and choose an effect.
This is probably the first time in his adult life that the illusion has truly shattered.
Yeah.
Um, he already has a disadvantage of obsession.
Mhm.
I think he would gain +1 relation and then become obsessed with this entity, good or bad, but I think this is going to occupy an obsessive part of his thoughts and even like a dark way, whether that's fear-based or not, but like I think obsession makes sense here.
Okay.
No?
Yeah, I agree. So, go ahead and roll for your obsession as well.
Take a hold.
Okay, I'm gonna take a hold for your obsession roll and um for your partial success at keeping it together.
Mhm.
Okay. The folds that could be a mouth kind of vibrate and part, and you hear in a gurgling, rasping voice, Marsha, come out.
Josh, are you calling me?
Marsha, you are right now also seeing like Ethel's cute little house turn into this like cage-like maze.
It's not real. She doesn't think it's
Okay.
because she succeeded on Keep It Together. I kind of think she's like, what's happening?
Okay.
So in Josh's mind, he very confidently says back to Marcia, nope, that was not me. That's the creature that just entered the house. But what comes out is, it's no, I, that, it said it.
I'm gonna get up and walk over to Josh.
I
Okay.
think it wants you.
As soon as you approach the doorway, Marsha, you hear Marsha. Greetings from Snook, Texas.
We having a vision like Ethel? Is this what it was like for Ethel?
Don't remember this from Ethel.
Do I see the entity now, or is
You
there?
see the entity. You should probably roll to keep it together again.
Yeah, I think so.
Partial success. Go ahead and take your effect.
I think I would become scared.
I think scared is pretty legit. Um, the creature lunges Marsha, you can roll to what is it? Roll to avoid harm.
Oh.
Failure. The thing is like an avalanche of fleshy, lumpy skin. It um it like basically it basically like body slams you to the ground. And um go ahead and roll to endure injury. It'll be 2 harm.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, you are going to take a serious wound. I'm going to give you internal bleeding. Or you could die if you want.
I don't want to die yet.
I kind of would want to die if that was happening to me. Okay. So you get knocked out, internal bleeding. Um, Josh, I'm assuming you're paralyzed with fear.
Yeah, he ain't doing much.
Okay. Sweating, eyes wide,
Shaking
shaking,
violently.
right. Um, from around the kitchen, you see Ethel come out. Her eyes are rolled back into her head. There's foam spilling out of her mouth. A radiance is exuding from her body, which is standing erect. You've always seen Ethel to be stooped, tired,
Hmm.
elderly. She is walking with the like perfect composure of a Marine in their prime. And she screams out, "In the name of the awakened spirit, the rebel angel, the hierarch against enslavement, the divine architect, get thee back, devil, and return to the pit." And she raises a crucifix that she typically keeps on her body, and it sizzles with like this blaze of sacred flame, and the creature is like immolated in this like halo of light. As soon as it like evaporates, um, sublimates, everything seems to return to normal, and you find yourself again in Ethel's kitchen and the hall leading out the back door.
I think with it being Ethel,
Hmm.
he might try to act and follow. That might probably snap him out of the fear.
Okay. As soon as everything kind of returns to normal, Ethel collapses to her knees.
Yeah, and he
Um,
like rushed to her quickly to try and catch her.
okay. You keep her from, really falling to the floor and injuring herself. Marcia is still on the ground. Um, you, I mean, you can see that she is knocked out, um, but not anything else about her injuries.
Ethel is not, or Marcia. Marcia
Marcia.
is knocked out.
Yeah, Ethel looks kind of like she's waking up out of a fever.
Hmm.
Um, she's not saying anything, helpful or explanatory.
Can I like bring her back to the kitchen and put her down in a chair gently?
Yeah, you do that.
And she's still not responsive if I like tap on a shoulder and say her name.
Ethel?
Yeah.
Oh, Josh, what just happened? Something very strange just happened
Yep,
to us,
it's
didn't
okay,
it?
Ethel. It was I think it was another vision. You just sit right here. You take this, and he hands her the glass of water from the table, and I gotta go check on Marcia. Okay.
All right. Check on Marsha.
Mm-hmm. You're good.
I'm good. I'm
And
fine.
he immediately goes back to Marcia. How do I see
You could try to
blood?
make a roll. You don't see blood streaming
Okay.
out of her or anything.
Okay. Um, can I try to like observe the situation?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Got nothing.
You can ask a
Um,
question, but it might cost you.
nah. I Josh has no idea what to do. He's not medically trained. He just looks around and goes like, taps her on the shoulder and says her name. Nothing happened.
Um, Marsha, you come to and you're in excruciating pain.
You you okay there, Marcia?
No. Oh, it hurts. Oh,
Uh
call an ambulance. Oh,
oh yeah, that should have done.
He runs into the kitchen and like tries to get the phone.
Yeah,
I imagine all their phones are still at the kitchen table.
sure. You pick up your mobile and you dial 911.
Yeah, runs back to her with it on speakerphone.
what was that? What happened? I
Uh, I went and got the phone. Now I'm on the phone with 911. Once they answer, hopefully.
911, what's your emergency?
We got injured injured young lady here.
Okay, what's here? What's your address?
I'll just send help right away. It hurts.
All right,
I
calm
might be
down, ma'am.
dying.
Calm down, ma'am. We'll send someone right away as soon as we get your address.
Josh.
Josh is just like, mm.
Goddamn cat. I am so
Oh,
sorry.
it's
The
okay.
cat
Oh.
just unplugged my headphones and I had to plug them in. I missed the last like 90 seconds. I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
No, it's okay. We were like, we just need your address and we'll send someone right away.
He
And
gets the
Marsha was
address
like,
immediately,
I'm
obviously. I'm so
dying.
sorry.
It kind of worked because I thought you like froze up because you're like, I don't know what happened.
You're right.
Yeah, so 911 is like kind of grilling the two of you,
Fucking
like, what the
cat.
fuck happened? And um both of you are sort of like a little bit hysterical, right?
Marsha's over the top hysterical.
Marsha is milking it. This would be a great, well, I was gonna say, I mean, you could always do like maybe not a live stream, but it would be interesting to record it and see what you could do with it later.
Maybe when I get in the ambulance. Right now, she's just
Okay.
thinking she hurts.
Okay. So they get you on a the EMS shows up, they get you on a stretcher. You have your phone in your hand, or I don't know, do you ask Josh to like record you getting like put into the ambulance?
No, honestly, because it's the after, and I'm not sure
Mhm.
what exactly happened.
You're too you're too injured and too frightened to even think about how you can spin this to your um to your benefit.
Yeah, maybe in recovery.
Okay. All right. So EMS takes you away. Um, do you have any emergency contacts? Not really, right? Like not in this
No,
city or not
no,
in this town.
None. If they really push me for an emergency
Mhm.
contact, I'm gonna give them Nayeli Young.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So you give them Nayeli's information. Yeah, they would push for an emergency contact. And now you're, on your way to the emergency room or whatever. Josh, you're back at home with Ethel. She's weeping at the kitchen table. She looks genuinely frightened. Um, she didn't look like this when she had her vision at in the van.
You you okay there, Ethel?
Joshua,
Hmm?
I think we just survived a demonic attack.
You think that there was a demon?
I believe it. I believe it. What else could it have been?
I don't know. You seen a demon before?
No, but I ain't never seen nothing like that. That's no deer, no bear, no mountain cat.
I mean, it did talk.
It did
I
talk.
heard it ask for Marcia.
It wanted Marsha, our most devout. We've got to protect her. Joshua, she's special.
Why is she special?
I don't know, but if the devil wants to hurt her, then that must mean she needs to be protected in some way.
I mean, that that a good kind of special or like a bad kind of special, Ethel?
Well, it must mean she's got a part to play in the future of the church. Of course,
And what part do we gots to play?
well, something in me woke up and allowed me to protect our friend.
Mm-hmm. You still connected to that there part?
I feel the Holy Ghost flowing through me like I never have in my life before.
You
That's
had
all I can
some
say.
you had some real power there, looked like.
Yes, well, that power is not mine, Joshua. That is the power of Christ.
Hmm.
All right. And okay, do you have
Nope.
anything else, Joshua? Okay. So that is Josh and Marsha coming into their awareness. We last time had kind of looked at Cole's experience with Grandpa's journal. I think that was pretty much a pretty cut and dry, like, okay, this is not normal. This is not, this is not something that is easily explained.
Right.
Um, we left you in a moment where you were kind of had been attacked by the journal in a manner of speaking.
Hmm. I mean, its arms came out to try to strangle me. Yeah.
Mhm. As like the moments passed after that, it whatever kind of like spiritual disturbance causes it to activate sort of faded, and it returned to being just a book. And remind me what you did after with this book.
I think that I hid it away or locked it up in some sort of box in the house.
Okay.
Feeling like it was maybe too dangerous to leave in the attic where Willow might get it.
Oh, you put it in the house, in your own house.
Yeah, yeah.
That's gonna go
Says I'm not in
for
your
you.
attic.
Yeah,
Who says
exactly.
I hid it in my attic?
That's a fair point.
I would like for you, Cole, to roll for one of your new advantages. Go
Yes.
ahead and roll the artifact advantage.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Failure. Nice. The
Let's
artifact
start.
does something unexpected, possibly dangerous.
I'm sorry.
GM makes a move.
Somebody had like a no? Okay, no. So yeah, Cole. Um, the eh, today, or the next time you try to mess with it, it drowns you in memories of your grandfather's death. So, you know, asphyxiation, hanging, suffocation, it just like crowds you. It crowds your vision, your ability to breathe, um, and terrifies you. Go ahead and roll to keep it together.
Okay. Success.
Okay. You manage to not let it, you know, terrify you too deeply. And now you have this, this artifact that you can return to for, um, to kind of keep digging or keep trying to kind of plumb its secrets. In the days following this, um, you and Jenny both begin to have nightmares about your grandfather.
We have shared nightmares.
They're not shared, they're different, but they're both about your grandfather. They're both about choking, being hung, being. Jonathan, don't fucking give me that look.
What is it? No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Being, bound and yeah. Go ahead and roll your nightmares disadvantage.
Okie doke. Failure.
So you wake up again with bruises around your neck, and it's worse. They're like visible, like really visible. So when you go to your job, you're working in your home, but
Does
when you go
Jenny say
out,
anything?
yeah, Jenny is horrified. What what is happening? Cole, I thought that have you been praying? Um, reading the Bible? That's our protection, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think this is getting worse. It's really scaring me.
Maybe.
I mean, Willow's supposed to be the liar, but
Oh, I didn't
Runs in
say
the
I was. Oh, I
fucking
didn't say I
family.
was. Wait, I didn't say I was going to church. I just said, yeah.
Runs in the family.
well, I will remind you that you made her, or you made a commitment to a spiritual rekindling, and it sounds like you're not, internally you're not buying that. But Jenny 100% expects you to, you know, to 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 do it, to re-engage with your faith, the faith that you both grew up in. Why don't we pray right now?
Okay,
Okay.
you lead.
She looks like kind of repulsed. What do you mean I lead?
You're
My
so much. You're
husband.
so devout. Um,
But in the church, they tell us that the man is the priesthood holder of the home. You are supposed to our lead in our righteousness if you are of God and of Christ. You know the prayers. She looks panicked now.
hmm,
Like, fuck. Like, she's losing the war, right? You're too transparent.
okay.
You're
Then
not a good liar like
he.
Willow.
Yeah, Will is really good. So he would try.
Well, his
He
player is not very good, but Willow's very good.
he would try.
Okay. So you would lead a prayer. What would that sound like?
Uh, I don't know if this religion
Guess
is
what? You
like
are creating this religion.
we're creating this religion. Mm. Something like Holy Redeemer, um, guide our family through these trying times. Um, I will be our family's protector and keep us safe in the face of evil. This is all true, by the way. This is not bullshit at all. But he isn't
Okay.
thinking about God. He's thinking about the book and the devil
Okay.
or whatever came out of it.
That's right. That's right. We're
Uh,
bathed in
I, I
his blood.
I pray that Jenny will continue to have faith in my strength and leadership.
Yes, that's right.
And our purpose is to protect
To
Haley.
praise you, God. Our purpose is to praise you, our Lord.
Praise, all high praise. I don't know. And then something about Kaylee.
Okay. And protect our daughter.
Mhm.
Our daughter who has been dipped in the blood of the Redeemer. Jenny looks relieved that you stepped up. Okay, well, Sunday's not far away. We've got to talk to the Youngs again. Um, Maybe they'll have, I don't know, something else for us. Another way forward. Another way to protect ourselves. But you know what? Cole, I know that our family is chosen, right? Our God chose our family to be saved in the end days. And that's why the devil is trying to hurt us. because we are part of God's chosen flock. But we'll win. I have faith in you. I have all the faith in the world in you. And in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Okay. So you
Could I do a thing?
yeah, go ahead.
I would say something like, why don't you get Kaylee some breakfast? I'm just gonna take a moment to collect my thoughts after that.
Okay. I've got to head to work soon, but sure. I'll get Kaylee breakfast and she goes off to do that.
And then, so what I'd like to do is to use one of my other advantages,
Mhm.
if I could. I want to sort of suss out whether or not having the journal in the house is the cause of the nightmares,
Oh yeah.
or whether it's just the activation of the journal,
Hmm.
that initial experience, that is the cause. And so could I use enhanced awareness? Is that a thing that would work?
Yeah, with enhanced, yeah, you can use enhanced awareness. Let's see.
Partial success.
Partial success. So you are using your enhanced awareness. Um, I'll give you the direct answer with your partial success. You are pretty sure that having this thing in your house is giving you and your wife horrible nightmares.
Okay. Then as soon as he is able, he's going to take that and put it back in the attic in Pop's house. God damn it.
You could hide it elsewhere.
Or yeah, is there like, how about like a shed in the backyard or something like that?
You would know that keeping this on your property is not a. I mean, you can put it in your shed, but you don't
Okay, but
think that'll
keeping it in the
guarantee.
property is okay. Okay, it's
Yeah,
got to be
that doesn't
further
guarantee
away.
that it's gonna.
Okay. Okay. Um, let's say that he has a locker, a permanent locker at his gym. And he's gonna keep it there
Okay, keep it in your stinky locker.
in my stinky locker.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now all the like himbos and jocks are gonna start having nightmares.
That's fine. That
You're
is fine.
right.
No problem with that.
Okay.
They deserve it.
Oh my God,
Oh,
Jonathan.
I'm sorry about the trauma, John.
Okay,
So
I do have a
anyway,
question.
yeah,
yeah.
So one of my distractions is excessive exercise. Do we go to the same
Um,
gym?
yeah,
you don't
you're
have
in
a
a.
key to my locker.
But would I know that they're there? Would I like?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a small town. There's not that many gyms. I think you both would probably go to like one of the nicer, like a nice gym, right? I think you're also siblings, and this is probably one of the few things in the world that you two have in common. You've really drifted in, the last few years. Probably getting together to work out might be the last, one of the very last things you would ever do. I think it would, I think you probably would be going to the same gym, maybe not at the same time all the time. You probably don't even know where each other's lockers are unless you're like
Gotcha.
super observant. Probably not. Um, so if Willow were to like go work out and then start having fucking, apocalyptic death visions, they might think, oh shit, something's up.
For sure.
But I like that
So we're just like a head nod here and
concept.
there. We're not
Yeah.
like next to each other's lock. Okay, so I would
Well,
have no idea
well, I
that
mean,
they're
you
there.
might like you. I mean, I think it would be awkward to be like have your lockers next to each other, but
Right.
um, you know, if you see, but if you're like both hanging there, you might connect and bond and
Right.
whatever. But
Yeah, I could see like Willow working out like late at night and Cole working out early in the morning,
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
based on their
yeah,
like personalities.
Just
yeah.
like complete opposite
I
in
can
Right.
see that
everything
happening.
we do.
Well, there you have it. So you want to stick it in your locker?
Mhm.
All right, perfect. Um, Freya and um James,
Hmm.
you two had an interesting experience. Um, you are Freya, you ended up at the library, right?
Hmm.
And was this after you had your vision or before?
It was after.
After. Okay. So I would ask, do you think you would share the information that is coming up with James?
Yeah, she'd be pretty freaked out and would want someone to like be her confidant.
Mhm.
And she might think that maybe the more she shares, maybe he'll remember something that's important.
Yeah. James, you get probably because y'all just oh yeah, you're communicating like on the library computer, right? So James, you get some like emails with attachments, information about the church that you probably have been semi-aware of, probably didn't have a real strong reason to look up before. But one of the things that stands out is that the church is rumored to have its own archive that is only accessible to like the council.
I think an interesting point would be that James would ask for the dates and like the issue numbers for the papers that were written, specifically the ones that were written by Kyle K. Um,
Mhm.
and I already know how this is going to go, but I'm going to go into the archive at the office to see if we have the back scripted copies, and I already know they're missing. Like,
Yeah,
I already know in my head they're gone.
yeah, and it's like everything is like immaculately archived, organized, and so it is a very red flag that there's stuff missing.
Yep.
So you have kind of like a renewed kind of research um interest or kind of like another pin right on your like board of like your yarn board. And that is that your dad was, doing investigative work about the church, and that's been censored. Um, yeah,
Sorry.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it now has dovetailed into Freya's story of like there's a history of kind of like weird ritual that was documented by outsiders of the religion. Um, things that, I mean, you outsiders would think, speaking in tongues is kind of weird, but like other churches do that. But like the stuff that's on the menu now is like really atypical, and you've never heard it referenced in church.
Yeah. I guess I would just basically send back messages to her. Um, I don't know if James James knows Willow goes to the same college or university that uh, Freya goes to the same university that Willow teaches at, right?
Yeah, I would think that's
Mm.
pretty common knowledge.
And I don't know if she has any classes with Willow. So I would ask that. I would ask if at class or if she has any classes with Willow, the teacher.
She probably does like a 101 class, kind of an intro to history class.
Some kind of elective or whatever.
Hmm.
Which is it? I like how
What do you think?
Freya and Willow said two completely
Different things.
like opposite things.
Yeah.
I want it to be like an introduction to like religion or like historical, but it's probably like Civil War, boring history stuff.
Yeah, that sounds more accurate. He
Yeah.
would stay far, far away from introduction to religion.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay. So like I kind of I think like there's like an opportunity here because um Intro to American History parts 1 and 2, I think
Mhm.
can be very spicy, right? Like for red-blooded conservative Texan students. And it's like I think it would be interesting in my like I'm thinking it would be interesting for Freya to be in a classroom with Willow where Willow is giving like a is giving a really honest and historically robust, fair um, treatment of American history. Like, you know that he's capable of kind of sifting through the lies and the historical revisionism and really giving the real truth about history. But they're not doing that for the church, right?
Mhm.
Like you, Freya, are starting to realize that the church is full of obfuscation and that it has secrets and that there are lies. And you are seeing that Willow is a part of that machine in some way. But you also know that they're capable of like critical thinking, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, so we'll say it's some intro to American history. And what else did I want to say about that? Let's say one more thing. Oh yeah, Willow, go ahead and roll your liar disadvantage.
Hey,
Congratulations, you. Uh, we're still telling lies, but they're
of
tangle
course.
free. All right. So I'm sorry, John, I kind of went off the rails for a second.
It's okay.
You ask Freya, do you have a class with Willow? And Freya is like, yeah, I've got this history class with them. But how do you respond to that? Or
I would say they have to be aware of the archives at the school. I would like for you to um, try and bring it to their attention and see if they have any thoughts on it in particular. If you don't feel comfortable doing this because you feel you might be judged by them, then don't do it.
That would actually make Freya want to do it more because she wants to give off this air that she, doesn't care about being judged. She cares a little bit, at the end of the day, but she would just see it as a challenge.
Yeah, I picked up on that. by the way, about Freya. I don't know if you understand that I'm sorry, I'm playing her.
No, you're fine. That's rude, but you're
Oh
fine.
my God, James.
So the best way to get the rats out of a house, and I know Andy's going to agree with me here from past experience, is to light a fire in the house, and
You know what?
that's the goal. I'm not burning a house down though, Andy. I'm figuratively burning a house down.
I do not agree.
I did not. I did not say I wouldn't figuratively burn houses down. I said physically I wouldn't do it. All right.
Um,
Or it could be benign. Who knows? We'll see.
guard your houses.
I
Yeah.
mean, Luther
burning.
burnt down a school, so you know.
Well,
Burnt
and
down
apartment
more than
buildings
yeah.
and a church.
Crop fields and
Fields.
yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. Uh, Freya, you have class with Willow. It's like a good old lecture on the colonies and the Boston Tea Party. I don't know, whatever, right? And at the end of class, you have a moment where you can sneak in your questioning.
She would approach them and kind of just pretend that she's a little bit more interested. She's more interested in learning the history of the church. So she would just say, this has really got me thinking, not just about American history, but about our roots as well. I I was wondering if there's any, thing that you know of that would help me learn more about the church's roots. Any archives or anything that might be
Just slip the term archives in there. Like
casually, like she's really bad at this. Like she's not good at being subtle and it shows.
I don't know. I think it was pretty slick.
Really good angle.
But let me take a beat. Let me help Willow out a little bit.
No.
Willow,
Wait.
what?
Can we help our team? Oh, I'm sorry.
Um, I did help your
Oh no, we
team.
were doing teams, man.
No, I'm not.
Wait, did I? Yeah,
I'm
I
just
did help your
You
team.
said help Willow.
I
Hell
know, I
yeah,
know.
this just became a PvP game.
PvP. No, it's not. It's not. Obviously,
Okay, it's been PvP.
There-
The minute Robin
Now you tell
gave
us.
no, the minute Robin gave that fake number, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
emotional
Oh, yeah.
damage.
absolutely headshotted Marsha. Just
That was brutal. Okay. So in retaliation, I'm gonna help Willow. Well, Willow, you know that you got a ping somewhere that Freya was digging around in these archives, digging around in the university libraries, archives about the church. One, two, you know that there are hidden archives in the church as well.
Mhm.
And you know that there is a carefully curated, censored, hand-picked library where curious parishioners are directed.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
Gotcha.
Oh man, I want that library.
So kind of well, it would take a minute, like gathering some papers or whatever. Well, you can always look through the school libraries archives. We have lots of information on the founding of the church. It's very robust, if not a little dry. Or they think that's a joke because, history is a little dry. Professor Humor. But there is a library at the church as well. It's a good place to start if you're looking for additional information. I think it'd be very helpful.
Freya would be a little surprised how willing they were to answer that. And also just a tiny bit suspicious because that seems too easy. But she would quickly start thinking, well, that's wonderful, how would I go about accessing it at the church? Is there anyone I need to talk to, or, any permissions I need to get?
I think you could speak to Nayeli or any of the higher ups in the church. They'd be happy to show you where it is and get you access to it. It's not particularly well guarded. It's you just need to let people know that you're going.
She would cringe at that internally a little bit, the idea of involving one of the higher ups or just anyone in
Yeah, that's why
general
I did
into
that.
this. Yeah, no, thanks. But she would just smile and say, "Okay, no, I'll do that then. Thank you so much."
Yeah, of
Let me
course. If you
give
ever have any questions or anything, it's just let me know. And God, as I'm saying that, that's what I say to my students in real life. I'm like, yeah, please let me know if you God, that just gave me PTSD. Anyway.
Oh,
I'll give you one more tip, Willow. You know that Nayeli would be a good, a good person to to guide Freya into, but there is like the church historian. She is one of the council wives. Um, Her name is Allison Bocanegra.
Gotcha. See, I would definitely float both names.
Okay.
So I want Nayeli involved, but I feel like the historian would be the better contact.
Yeah, and Allison, is not as like slick and smooth as Nayeli, but she is just as devout, if not more.
So I definitely want Nayeli involved then because she's going to be able to steer them away from anything they don't
Okay,
need to see.
perfect. So that's your information package.
I
Um,
appreciate that.
all right, Freya, you kind of gather up that information.
Mhm.
You get the little professor, like the professor line. Let me know if you have any other questions.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely will do. And she immediately just, decides to share this information, um, and, what she found out
Red herring
with
though.
James, that is.
Red herring though. Jijo. It's basically just
I mean, I don't think it has to be. I think it could be a red herring if you stop there. But um, I would like for both I would like for both blah, 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 James and oh my
Freya.
God, my brain. Freya, thank you. To roll an investigation roll.
Okay.
And you can either take what I'm gonna give, what I have, that I want to give you, or you can ask questions from the list.
I got a partial.
Success.
Okay, so you have a great success. Do you want both of you do you want can I just give you what I'm
Yeah.
trying to give you? Okay.
Sure.
So you are piecing together like the presence of um this hidden thing at the church. Freya, I think both you and James actually are clever enough to know that Willow is probably not going to just put this hidden thing like right in your laps.
Hmm.
But what you are starting to piece together about the structures of your church that maybe you had missed before because you weren't that um you weren't that interested in like rising in the ranks or deep, diving into the inner circle.
Mm-hmm.
What you're starting to realize is that you could get more information about this if you can manage to gain the trust of the council. And that happens in a very rigid way. There's rungs on this like concentric circles that you can kind of travel inwards. From the outside, you're going to have to do a lot of like crazy Nancy Drew shit to like get
Mm-hmm.
anywhere. From the inside, might be easier. So maybe, going to check the censored library is not going to get you any final answers, but it could be a step in the right direction if you can kind of like angle it in a way that builds trust with the people in power. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
John is like, fuck that. Fuck the people in power.
I checked for a dad's gun.
They killed my dad. Okay.
I don't know that for sure.
Well, yeah, but okay. So
I, as a
that's
player, do.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my thought on that. All right. So how about we take a little bit of a break, a quick bio break,
Sure.
and then come back maybe in 5 minutes or so.
Sounds good.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Hmm.
Alrighty. I'm not uh, able to get.
Oh, I'm ready to switch it back over. You want me to?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not able to get Zach and Cody's advantages up. I'll just do them when we're done. If you feel like you're really, really excited to use an advantage that you've made a note of, you're welcome to like roll the stat, and then we can just look at the book and see the result in the book. I'm not going to mess with your sheet on um, on Foundry for now. Okay. Is everybody back?
Mhm.
Here.
Yes.
Zach, are you bubbling?
Just call me out like
I
that.
knew it. I didn't hear
was
the
trying to get
bubbling.
one more in. No, the bubbling part was done.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. All right. So we're back. Everybody has oh, okay. I think Willow and James haven't had like a full awakening yet, or like a full awareness pop just yet. James, I kind of wanted to do yours in a dream. Is that okay? Okay, we'll do that in a dream. Um, Willow, yours is gonna happen at the gym.
I'm sure that'll be fine.
It's late at night. It's a 24-hour, kind of place. It's clean. It has the usual, kind of foot smell of gyms, but
Mhm.
bleachy. Uh, there's nobody else working out tonight. Uh, the like front door, front desk person is kind of uh, swiping on their phone, drowsy, drooping a bit. What are you doing to try and distract yourself from the pull of the truth behind the veil?
I think I'm doing a lot of running, treadmill, probably got some podcast going, very much in my own world, not paying attention to anything, just doing my thing.
That beautiful hair like bouncing as you run.
Yep, the long hair flowing in the wind. Yeah.
Um, you hear from like the locker room area the sounds of somebody choking and gagging.
How severe does that sound?
I mean, it's quiet. The music that normally is like pumping in the gym is been turned down to like ASMR levels, for the night.
Hmm.
And you hear the hacking, you hear like a pounding against the um like against the door of a locker, like somebody's body, slamming against the lockers. And you hear
Hmm.
the ah, 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 you know.
I gotcha. Um, I'm gonna just like take a quick look at the person behind the desk, who I'm assuming has not noticed this at all, and then I'm just gonna go back there and hopefully not die. So
Maybe.
I'm just thinking like somebody's, I don't know, somebody drank too much water and they're not having a good time back there or whatever.
Sure. You make your way back to kind of like the locker area, and the lights kind of flicker a little bit. You feel weird. Um, you hear the noise like as if somebody was choking right in front of you, but you don't really see anything until you see the lockers like vibrate as if something has just been like thrown against them.
Mind your business, good.
You can
Um,
choose to see through the illusion if you like.
yeah, definitely. Which is in here somewhere. There it is. Commercial.
Okay. You um suddenly you see in front of you as if it had just like dropped out from the ceiling, the body of an elderly man hanging from the ceiling, from a rope around his neck, and his body is swinging and it's slamming itself against the lockers.
Ooh,
His back is to you, and he's like struggling against the ropes, trying to, you know, get loose.
do I have to like keep it together or anything?
Would probably, yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, because the heroic thing is what I want to do, but oh,
Yeah,
okay, that's what's gonna I'm gonna run
Willow,
up then.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, no, yeah, Willow, you probably are seeing just like, somebody in trouble, right?
Right. See, I'm gonna like scream for the front desk person and then like just go and try to like grab the person's legs and like push them up so they're not straining against the rope. And then I'm just gonna stand there and hope that somebody arrives with additional help.
Uh, when you um when you wrap kind of your arms around the man's legs, it's kind of like feels like wrapping your arms around like sacks full of like lumpy ground meat. It
Hmm.
doesn't feel right like a person's legs normally feel.
Can I like I don't even want to ask this question. Can I like get a look at their face? Are they
Yeah.
what am I seeing?
Yeah, if you kind of like twist around to look up and try to see his face, you see your grandpa looking down at you. His eyes bloodshot, tears streaming down his face like turning purple, um, and struggling against the the slip knot. Um, the flesh around his midsection, just like as you are like twisting his body, just sort of falls away and splits, and there's this like half corpse now hanging from the rope, still animated, still struggling. And his eyes are like locked at yours as like the bottom half of his body like spills out on the ground.
You're making it worse.
Yeah,
Or
the part that
better.
I'm holding is now in my hands, separated from. I'm gonna let that shit go. Uh, I don't want to be anywhere near that.
There's a moment of like slack in the rope, right? As you grab and push, and you hear your grandfather's voice call out your name, and says, "Let me out." And you hear pounding against the locker, like right beneath where he's hanging.
Do I do the thing? Yeah, I'm gonna go open the locker.
It's locked.
Oh yeah, it's locked. I can't.
It's right there in the name.
The there's like a a heart like a more savage, brutal pounding from like the other side of the locker, and you hear like a muffled voice, like someone's in there.
All right, I'm gonna go open that one then.
It's the locked locker that you're looking at that he.
Oh, gotcha. And I'm assuming the front desk person is of no help here at all.
They haven't showed up.
Okay, so yeah, they're out doing their own thing. I'm gonna take my phone, which I probably have with me, and just use it to like beat the combination lock off the locker and probably destroy the phone in the process.
Yeah, you break the combination lock and the door swings open. Your grandfather's kind of spectral corpse is gone just as
That's a
quickly
good
as it
thing.
appeared. And you see a journal sitting at the bottom of a locker. Cole, would there be anything else in that locker?
There might be like some change of clothes, maybe a pair of sneakers. I don't know.
Gym
Um,
stuff.
yeah, I mean, you
How,
know your brother. Would you recognize
how
his
about we say
voice?
a picture of Jenny's is tacked onto the inside of the
Oh,
locker?
Oh, there you
that's
go.
really cute. You
So
see a
cute.
picture of your sister-in-law tacked to the side, to the locker door.
There's a really big part of me that wants to take that because it's the journals, or at least some of the journals, or a journal, but
Yeah.
it's here for a reason, and it's Cole's stuff, and I'm not gonna take that from him as much as I want it.
But you opened the locker now and it won't lock anymore.
I know, and I want it so bad.
It's not safe here.
Yeah, it's not safe. That's yeah.
I mean,
because
you
that
don't
could
want
just
to
end up
just
happening
leave
to someone else.
like an evil haunted journal
Yeah, yeah,
in the
that's
gym for
true.
the himbos. Think of the
Yeah, all right, I'll
himbos.
grab it then.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if you've thought about this, but you could call Cole and be like, "Hey, I
I
found your."
can't though. My phone's destroyed.
That's true. That's true. You're
That's
right. You
So I
great.
could
can't.
take it and like call him from home or something, but
Sure.
Who has a home phone these days?
it's Texas. I don't know. Things are weird down there.
We're in like 2007 though, right? We're not like now, right?
No,
Oh, we're now.
2021.
Oh, we're in 2021. I'm sorry, my
Yeah,
brain
yeah.
dumb.
Ethel probably has a home phone. I just break into her house again
Wait,
and she's her
no,
phone.
there's no home phone. Oh my God.
No.
Okay, we're backward in other ways.
Right. So I'll take it. I'm gonna put it in my bag and leave immediately. And then if I see Cole at church on Sunday, I'm gonna bring it up with them.
As you like pass up the front door, dude, he's just like snoring gently.
I'm really like shaking, cold sweats, like just get me out of here, man.
What day of the week is this?
I would say we're getting pretty close to Sunday, so I would say either Friday or Saturday night. We can say it's a Friday night, right? It's the same night. It's like the same day that you talked to Freya, that Willow talked to Freya.
Because
Mhm.
Cole would probably show up at the gym on Saturday morning.
Okay. So Friday night, what what activity is James doing to distract himself?
Well, Saturday is the day that I actually talked to Freya, so we're kind of
We're catching
rewinding.
up.
Okay, yeah, Friday I would have. The only thing I would have done that was of import was uh, call Freya that day, and then it would have just been normal stuff. And then Saturday is when I would have had that conversation. I don't think I would have done anything outside of the norm.
Okay. So, but your distraction
Oh yeah,
before
that
going to church. What are you
for
doing?
sure. I mean, yeah, on Friday I'd probably be uh, crawling. I think is what we called it.
Oh,
Crawler.
crawler.
Yeah.
Wait. So Saturday is the day you and Freya meet up?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So now we're at Saturday night. You are like in your bed, like mindlessly swiping through crawler, reading whatever fucking dumb opinions on like whatever
What was popular in
superheroes.
Texas?
Well, I mean, you have the whole nation, open to you and with crawler. Um,
I think
2021.
my guy likes politics.
Okay. So dumb opinions on politics, great. And eventually you start to drift.
Sleepy time.
Like others in you know, in your church, um, you dream of a barren field. A barren field pocked with deep holes. If someone were to stand at the edge and peer in, they might see like a massive blinking eye
You know, I was
looking
told
up at
about the
them.
place, but I figured it'd probably be a horrible place for a vacation, and I was right. It's probably the mentality in my head.
Yeah. You get an interesting feeling, um, an intuitive reaction. You know that if you really wanted to see or if you really wanted to see something that you normally wouldn't be able to have access to, if you wanted to know something you couldn't normally know, if you wanted to talk to someone or something that would normally be out of your reach, you might be able to do that by jumping into one of these holes.
Yeah. Do I see anything about the holes that would make me feel like they're associated with any individual or like would represent something in my mind? Because jumping into a random hole, I mean, it's gotten me in a lot of trouble in the past.
Oh, good grief. Okay, well, let's see. You can, make a move
Hmm.
to figure out like what's what. You can either roll to see through the illusion, you could try to use your dreamer advantage,
Dreamer
you could
advantage.
okay,
That
use
sounds
your
rad.
advantage.
So I just click it.
Click it.
Bam.
Beautiful success. So, if you decide to go for it, you like look in and each eye is like perfectly unique, different shades of color, of texture. Some are deeply bloodshot, some are clean and clear, healthy, some are cataracted, and intuitively, you can, like, as you go from pit to pit, you can suss out, well, okay, if I drop in there, maybe I'll go here.
The eyes kind of match up with people I know. Like I recognize the eyes. Is
No,
that no?
no. It's sort of like its own signage. It's like dream. It has like a dream logic to it.
Hmm.
Like like a code or a barcode. And you think that if you decide what you want, you could easily find that eye.
I know who I want to see, but I
Who?
want to make it fun. So I do want to proffer. Does anybody have any cool ideas here? Because I know what I want, and it's really funny, but I don't want to go with it if like there are better options. Does anybody have any
Do your
thoughts?
thing.
Because there's a part of me that says, Freya established the connection, great, fine, not as much fun. There's another thought of me that says go for the throat and go for like one of the council members, like the higher ups.
There
But
you go.
then there's this other part of me, and it's the funniest one, and it's the one I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna look for Willow.
It's fun. You kind of walk from one pit to another. There's a beautiful um, blue with black streak eye, with beautiful long lashes, and it blinks up at you from the pit. And you dive in. It feels like diving into like a D&D gelatinous cube or something. You are
Jello.
like surrounded in plasma, and you find that you can like swim through it. Like you can breaststroke through the this suspension, um and you find yourself slowly kind of like the gel is sort of starts to thin out and lose its viscosity as you enter Cole's dream. I'm sorry, Willow's dream. Willow, what are you dreaming about?
That's a great question. Uh, it's probably going to start out with me at the church, just like a standard, like, oh, I forgot to wear clothes to church dream. And then it's going to give way to my grandfather's corpse hanging in the gym locker room. And then it's going to take like a weird turn into like I'm walking through a field of flowers, but all the flowers are clown faces. Like it's just like a bunch of weird shit
Can,
all bungled into one dream.
so as the dreamer, can I like interject myself into the dream like in a kind of cool optical way? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so like when he's going to the church, like, or sorry, when they are going to the church at the beginning of the dream, James is there, but James is also in the crowd, but there's this other James, the mysterious stranger in the dream James, who's wearing like his long coat that he, got from his dad, his trilby, and he's smoking a cigarette. And everybody can see him doing it, Willow, but he's still doing it. Nobody's saying anything about it. And then inside of the locker, he's kind of like concerned face and is there for some reason. And then in the field of clowns, like the clown faces, the sunflowers, I presume like faces, like
Mhm.
he's just among them and kind of trying to brush past like the flowerage and the foliage to kind of get to you. Still wearing the
I
cool
think,
outfit because I get to shave dreams
of
based on looking
course,
as cool as I can.
smoking the cigarette.
Yes.
Yeah, no. I think I'm gonna be like, yeah, man. Like, I don't understand this at all, but this is weird dream logic, and I'm gonna go where James goes.
I am going to take their hand and I'm going to see if I can't take them back to the field of eyes. And I'm not going to say anything about it. Basically, the whole time, like when I was there at the church, there was like a sympathetic kind of look to you. When you were inside of the locker space dealing with that horrific trauma, the same. It was like a sympathetic look, right? I'm just expressing my emotions in the dream. And then in that last moment, as the clowns are kind of laughing at you, it's like James reaching forward and kind of trying to take hold of your hand and take you somewhere safe.
Yeah, let's do it. Like, get me away from the clown flowers.
Can I or no?
Um,
If I can't pierce back through the gelatinous cube with Willow, I'll know my limitations. This is something that James would want to test anyways. I'm testing the barriers.
I think that that's. I'll say this: you find that you are able to kind of create like the dream space, but not the functionality.
Got it. So
Like you could,
I can reshape the look of the dream to
yeah,
look like that field, but not
yeah,
bring them to the actual dream location. Got it.
no.
I feel very Freddy. The field shows, and like I'm visualizing the eye of Willow as we kind of come up out of it onto the pit, and I gesture down and I say, just as loud as I can, trying to be as emphatic as possible. If you can hear me, if this is real, if I am able to talk to you in this way, I need you to call me tomorrow morning before church. You have to call me before church. I don't know what is happening, but I need someone who is faithful to understand what I'm going through to help me. And then I'll let the illusion shatter. I'll try and sever it. Like I'm doing everything in my mind to wake up. If I can't wake up and it's a horror show, then fine, that's cool. But I'm consciously trying to
No,
wake
you
up.
succeeded on your dreamer roll, so um, you kind of like are slurped back in through the gel and up into the field, and
No,
Cole, I'm sorry, Willow, Willow, you see, this like dashing detective just like get swept away from your dream, which kind of returns to its chaotic dream logic. Um, James, you wake up and you remember everything that happened in not in the way that you remember a dream. You remember it in the way that like you remember the events of your day. Um, Cole, Cole, oh my fucking God, I'm so sorry.
Hello?
Willow. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Cole. I think it's because I'm looking at his face
And
on the
Andy.
thing. Okay.
It's hard not to
Always
look at
looking at
Andy.
Andy. But Willow, you also wake up. Willow, you in that moment also remember, like you remember the kind of weird trajectory of your dream, the way that you remember dreams, but the moment that you kind of recall James appearing in your dream, it's weird. Like like it's like a presence that you have never experienced before. It feels a little weird, that and a little bit vulnerable that something was kind of or someone was in your dream and you remember him telling you something very clear, call me in the morning, and then it ending and you waking.
And what time do I wake up?
I mean, let's say this is what, like 3 in the morning or something. It's like really late,
Gotcha.
Early.
early.
Yeah, early.
It's so late that it's early.
Perfect. So I might like write a note on my phone or something because like you wake up in the middle of the morning, in the middle of the night, you have a great idea, and then you wake up at 7, you can't remember what it was. So like I'll write something down and then just like roll over and go back to sleep.
Okay. After that, like dream episode, both Willow and James have like a great sleep.
I think like James, like upon waking up after the dreamer event, probably smoked a cigarette, stared at his phone like for the longest time, put it out, and passed out. And he may in the morning not even think like, you know, it happened, but like like you said, he's feeling the event like it's a memory, not like it's uh, a dream, not like it's just a lucid dream. So that's very interesting. So yeah.
Marsha, you are recovering from, your experience at Ethel's. You receive whatever is the proper treatment for, bruising, internal bleeding or whatever. Um, you are, physically left, quite weakened by the attack. Um, but you are visited at the hospital by all members of the council. They bring you, flowers. They pray over you and around you. Um, how do you respond to like the most powerful people you know, in your faith coming into your hospital room to
Um,
comfort you?
she's on cloud nine. She's getting all this attention. So she's gonna take selfies with everyone and post it on Sweet Space and just say how much of a blessing it was for such and such to come visit while she's in the hospital recuperating, and she's loving the attention.
Yeah, beautiful. You are, so you actually can roll your advantage.
Well,
Uh,
my new ones aren't in here yet, but I can roll some.
no, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
They are?
Yeah, artistic talent, right?
Let me reopen it. Mine's blank.
What?
It says artist on here, but then it's blank.
That's pretty weird. Oh, that is weird.
Oh, do I have to like click and drag them into?
You shouldn't have had to. I had it, but let's do it now.
They're
Okay,
appearing now.
yeah, I'm
What's
adding them in.
missing? But yeah,
It's what's observant?
yeah, observant.
Yeah, I mean you are turning this your like management of social media into an art. Go ahead and roll your advantage. A beautiful success. So you can kind of choose how the congregation that's following you on Sweet Space will respond to you. And you can choose up to two.
I think they want to see more of my postings and stuff like that. They want to see more. And they look up to you.
Beautiful. Yeah, the congregation is like whipped up into a frenzy of devotion by seeing, the someone who like so freely embraces the the tenets and um the norms of the community. Uh it it breaks their hearts that you are sick and in the hospital, but they're so hopeful for your recovery. There's like American flags and Texan flags getting like sparkly ones getting added to your feed. Crosses with like little sparkly bunny rabbits. Um, and people are seeing you as like this this icon of suffering and grace. And now it's time for church.
Take me to church.
So before church, Willow, will you call James?
I think so. I think I'd like pick up the phone, put it down. Like that's crazy, but yeah, I think eventually I would call him.
Wakes up, looks at it, picks it up. Hello, hello.
Hey, James, how you doing?
I don't know if you have something you want to tell me.
I had a dream about you last night.
I thought that you
That
might.
was a little weird. Wanted to check in.
I thought that you might. I I don't know what's going on, Willow. I've been having dreams about something that Mario said after the crash. And I told you about it, the field with the pits and the eyes.
Yeah, I remember.
Did you see that in your dream last night?
I think so. It was only for a few seconds. You were telling me something, and then it ended, and I woke up almost immediately.
When I got to sleep, in the midst of my dream, I was there. It was so vivid, lucid even. It was like I was there, and I feel like I was there. I remember it like I was there. But it was Mario's vision. The church gave it to him. He was the one who saw it. But I went there. And when I was there, the first person I thought about, and this is me lying, out of character, the first person I thought about um, was you. And I saw an eye that looked, I guess it felt like it was yours. And I went in it, and you were there, and you had a dream. You had a dream, and I remember it very clearly, Willow, and I don't want you to feel like in any way I have pervaded upon you in any way. I didn't know what was happening. But I saw your dreams. I saw your walking up to the church. I saw what happened in the locker room. I saw the field. I don't know if you remember those things or not, but I feel like I was looking into your psyche.
I do remember that, unfortunately.
I can only.
You went in my eye?
Well, it was your eye in the field of eyes. It was not your real eye. It was. Well, I guess it was your real eye, but it was like a. I don't know, your mind's eye or something? I don't know how this works. And I just want you to know that I chose you and I thought about you first because I know you are special to the church. I know you're important to the church. God himself told the council that there is a third gender. For some reason, you are important, and I felt that when I was there amidst all the eyes. I felt like it could go to anyone's eyes, mind's eye, or whatever it is, would have shown up for me, and I could have gone into it. And I just feel like it was important for me to connect with you. I didn't know what I was walking into. I didn't know what was going on. And I can only apologize for this intrusion. I feel really bad about it, Willow.
It was definitely interesting, but if what you say is true and it was new and you didn't know what you were doing, then I'm not going to hold it against you.
Well, I've been having dreams about the eyes since Mario mentioned them, but I never had an inkling to go into one until last night. And like I said, I felt like we've been assigned buddies. You're supposed to keep tabs on what's going on with me. I'm supposed to keep tabs on what's going on with you. We're supposed to work together in the faith. We're God's chosen, right? And so you were the first person I thought of. And I felt like it'd probably be best just to, connect, but I didn't think it was going to be like that. What was with your... Do you mind if we get together after church for maybe like a late lunch or something?
Absolutely. I think it would be good for us to talk things through, and I think for now it might be best to not mention this at church today.
I was honestly going to leave it to you to decide what we do with it, because again, you're I think we can both agree you're a bit more faithful than I am, a bit more
I think
important
so.
to the church, and I don't think that's something we both. I think we both agree there. That's fine.
I think we're both important, although I do think there's a different level in our faith.
That I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Okay, so then we won't mention it at church, and we'll talk about it after. We'll go to lunch.
Sounds good.
All right. See you at church, Willow.
See you there.
Hang up 3 cigarettes in a row.
Yeah, Weller's just like, what the fuck, man?
I also like, even though it's like I am the culprit, right? I guess that's weird. Like, I'm trying to parse how James is gonna. Anyway, not important yet.
Well, I think I think everybody now has had kind of like held their hand out on the stove and been a little burned. Like you felt the heat of the stove.
I will say for me, at least thankfully, I didn't get like, choked by a book or
Right.
stabbed by a weird shadow stranger. I mean, it would have been cool to see the radiant Ethel. That was pretty rad. Like, not gonna lie, but yeah, I think I had it pretty good comparatively. Just a little bit more mind fucky than I think the others encountered. So.
Anything anybody else wants to do before you get picked up by the van for church? I will say this. Everyone um has received uh an alert that the church has hired like an external company to handle transportation so that, if the faithful receive revelation, you won't drive into a ditch again.
Would that have been brought
That's
to our
probably smart.
attention before Sunday?
Yeah,
Could I have
I think
opted
so.
to drive my own car?
You would have been really dissuaded,
Okay.
because there's like who would you ask?
Whoever calls me and says we're gonna be picking you up with a third party.
Okay, let's say you get a call from like some rando,
Yeah.
and you're like, well, can I drive my own car? And they say, well, the council really wants to avoid people driving as much as possible, especially on Sunday, in case that there's revelation. It would be really unsafe for you to be driving.
Okay. So, um, I mean, I'll just go with it. I don't think that this would probably have been earlier in the week, so I don't think that I would have been. I don't like it, but at the time, but later on, I think after the vision, I'm more like, okay, I guess I'm a part of the people who are seeing shit. I probably shouldn't be driving my car.
Yeah, exactly. So all of a sudden, like the town of Bee Caves has like this massive increase in people using Uber. Okay. Um, Josh, oh my gosh, Josh, you've, been through it. Ethel seems to make a pretty good recovery, from that kind of fucked up night. There isn't any more kind of weird fuckiness. Um, you haven't seen Marsha since, you know, that weird night. Um, Marsha, how much would you share about that night with the council?
She would tell it all.
Okay. So, Josh, you probably would have gotten a little bit of a grill, you know, an interrogation from someone in the council, about
Mhm.
your experience that night. Would you have been pretty straightforward?
Oh yeah, I imagine it was very short, clear answers, yeses and nos, but not a lot of description.
Okay. Yeah, so they interview you individually, and Ethel individually, and there's a lot of prayer. There's kind of like a clear, like there's like this clear um message that Ethel is sort of being moved deeper into the circle. And you are kind of attached to her, but she is now going to kind of enter a more um, into like a deeper spiritual knowledge than she ever has in her life, even after being in the church for many decades. So, um, not really sure what that entails yet. Um, but she is being treated very deferentially by the council. Whereas before, it's like she was just this kind of old baddie, uh, you know, spinster. Uh, that's changed, and um, maybe you gain a little bit of that shine too. Um, you are given like a set of like new church clothes. Um, I mean, it's like a little bit of throwing shade on like your usual outfit, which was probably not, that um, up to standard. Um, Also, Ethel is given, a new church dress. Marcia, you are too, so that you all can kind of show up and be a little bit more, um, have a little bit more presence. You are instructed not to talk about your experiences explicitly at church or with other parishioners until the council um, is able to get guidance uh, through revelation and through prayer.
Oh, so am I supposed to say like this was a work accident?
Let's see. The company line could be that you had an accident uh, at Ethel's house because there's a lot of people that like there's people now that like Noemi, for example, that like is at Bucky's or whatever, and you've probably recruited, let's say, a couple of people from Bucky's already. Like they know you weren't injured at work. So I would say it happened at Ethel's house. That's why Ethel knows about it. That's why Josh knows about it. And what the nature of the injury is. You can say, I don't know, what's a good lie?
I mean, was I hit by a car? Because I mean, I was internal bleeding, so could have been
Yeah,
crossing
maybe
the
you were hit by a
street.
car. Hit and run.
Yeah.
Okay. Josh, you good with that lie?
Mm-hmm. If that's what Marsha wants,
That's what the church wants.
that's what everybody wants. Let's do it. Great. Why not?
Okay.
He is a follower.
Um, Another beautiful, hot, uh, blazing Sunday.
Mm. Those nice thick suits and dresses.
The vans, thankfully, have the AC on blast. All of you make it to church. Um, Nobody's van flips over. And What do you do as you get to church?
I'm just going through the paces. Like it's no different than any other day on Sunday. I'm gonna, yeah, just breach through all of the shenanigans with my cool new advantage, fast talk, and I'm basically just trying to remain as indistinguished and vapid as possible.
Staying out of the line of fire. Okay,
Do not want to catch any strays.
got it. What about Cole and Gianni?
Cole is trying to like keep his head down and just go with the flow as much as he can, not stick out. Um, to yes, to do that.
Jenny tugs on your arm, like as you go in. I mean, you're used to kind of being towards the back or towards the middle. She wants you right, like right up close.
You mean the front of the
Yeah, right
church?
up
Yeah.
to the front
Mm-hmm.
few rows.
Mm-hmm.
Do you fight that?
No, definitely not.
Okay. Jenny looks tired, but very hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
What about Freya?
Rhea is actually going to church a little bit early for her since it hasn't quite started yet. And she's sitting in the middle. She doesn't quite want to put herself front and center, but she's sitting in the middle this time to try to see if anyone knows, to see if she can catch, someone's eye. Um, she wants to start making that appearance that she's trying a little bit harder, that she wants to connect a little bit more with the church.
Okay. You you feel Freya, Nayeli Young's like very soft manicured hand kind of like grasp your shoulder. Um, her nails kind of like poking into you a little bit. It's a little bit of a hard squeeze. But when you meet her gaze, she's like beaming that you are here a little early on time, sitting in the middle, not, you know, posted up in the back like some hooligan. Uh, Freya, I'm really happy to see you here today. Um, Stick around a little bit after. I wanted to talk to you about joining one of our women's groups. It's just like a little book club, nothing high commitment. Um, Hopefully you and Marcia can make time to join. We'll talk about it later, okay?
Sure thing. Again, just that internal cringing. She wasn't looking to take on another commitment with the church, but this could be an opportunity.
Go ahead and roll to influence another.
Partial success.
Okay. So, she seems to buy your thumbs up at a surface level, but you can kind of see the wheels turning behind her eyes, like she's really studying you. And you actually whenever it comes to kind of believing your BS, you will have a. Oh, wait. No. That's it. That's it. All
Okay.
right. So, you kind of see the wheels turning, and she moves away.
Freya just lets out like a sigh of relief when she's out of earshot.
Hmm. Uh, I feel like at this point, Josh, Ethel, and Marcia and Noemi are a little bit of like a little sub. Like they've kind of like started their own clique, uh, by accident and by just surviving fucked up occult shit together. Um, you know, the four of you arrived together. Marcia, you're probably fine to walk, but you were offered like a wheelchair by the hospital. Would you take advantage of that?
Oh no.
Okay. So you can walk, you're probably still a little bit in pain, but nothing like unbearable. And you are with Noemi, who is looking around like nervously and like you can tell it's like a new blouse she probably got from like Walmart or whatever. And Ms. Ethel and Josh in their kind of new church clothes provided by the church. What do you all do?
I know what I want to do is, kind of go around, talk to some people. But when it comes to it's time to sit down, I want to like influence our group to sit down next to Freya so we can, since she's my buddy, but bring them with me,
Yeah, I love
Noemi,
that.
Josh, and Ethel.
Okay, I'm gonna post it now. I don't know if people were in the Twitch chat, but I gotta. Okay. We have seen fields of massive eye pits, shadowy demons at the door, some growing hands, religious control of others, vans flipping over due to divine revelations, and some crazy other shits. Marsha is the most evil thing we have seen in this game.
What?
Marcia is very,
I I
very
love it.
slick.
I love
Yeah,
it. It's a very good character, but god damn.
yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like it's never anything overtly
Yeah,
overt, right? It's very
very nuanced.
gentle and soft and yeah. So
Sorry.
there's like a few spaces like Marcia, you're able to like kind of throw your weight around a little bit. And just you approaching Freya causes other people that were like kind of sitting sort of close to her to like scooch away to make room for you.
But then they scooch closer to Freyr once we sit down, right? Because then they can be with us too.
Sure. I mean, they're just making room for you
Oh,
and your
okay.
group, is what I'm saying. Like they're saying, Marcia, come, and once you make it clear that you're trying to like, be near Freya. Um, Josh, I'm assuming, is like just silently obeying like the unspoken or authority of Marcia at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
100%.
Um, so is Ethel. I mean, Ethel looks a little bit shell-shocked, kind of haunted. And she just kind of like trails Marcia with Joshua, using Josh a little bit as, as a support. Um, and the four of you, and with Noemi, squeeze in next to Freya. Freya, how do you react?
She just offers a like for a second her face falters and it's clear she's not happy with any of this. Like she just can't keep it together 100%. But after a moment, like a brief second, she's smiling. She's like, Marsha, yeah, how are you? And she notices maybe she's walking a little funny or she looks a little different. Like, how have you been? I haven't heard from you in a while.
I would definitely, as I was sitting down, hey Freya, yeah, I had a little accident. But I'm doing well, power prayer.
Power of prayer, and she just kind of nods and smiles maybe a little bit too wide.
Some rando leans forward behind you, Freya. Freya, didn't you hear? Marsha was a victim of a hit and run right here in our community. Isn't that terrible?
This she really does look genuinely, like she's caught off guard a little bit. She didn't realize it was that serious. She's like, I'm sorry to hear that. Are you sure you're okay?
Oh yes, thank you for that. I am doing okay. Spent a couple days in the hospital, and the church has been great coming to see me and stuff, but no, I am doing.
Yeah, she may not like Marcia, but she doesn't want her like dead or anything crazy.
Not today.
Not yet.
Not yet. Uh, Miss Rando says, well, yeah, it's, all will be healed, uh, through the blood of the Lamb. That's true, Marsh. That's true. Um, Willow. Willow?
Did we get disconnected?
Yeah, Willow. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Willow, what about you?
I'm going right up to the front. I'm gonna try to like get the attention of the Marsha supergroup that's going on and just say hello, just so I'm on the radar and find my seat as close to the front as I can get. I want to try to spot out Cole while I'm up there. Is Cole sat down yet? Is he still hanging
Yeah,
around?
Cole and Jenny, in a very atypical situation, are sitting together, are sitting right at the front.
Yep.
I want to like just go up and say like, hey, how you guys doing? Good morning. All the usual stuff. And then just take Cole aside just a little bit because I know church is starting soon and be like, hey, like we got to talk about the gym locker and like have a nice sermon and
So
head on my way.
Cole's mouth sort of drops a little bit, and then he sort of pulls himself together.
Jenny is like overjoyed to see you, Willow. You've always kind of been on good terms with her. She admires your commitment to the church, despite the kind of uh what's the word? Well, like the cognitive, like the dissonance, right, between
Mhm.
like, you kind of growing up to be this apparently very like, you know, uh kind of progressive seeming person, and yet still being so devout. So she's always kind of looked looked to you for like a way forward, uh with her husband. um so she gives you like this big beaming smile, and she grabs your hands with your hand with both of her hands and says, Willow, it's great to see you. I'm glad that I'm glad to see you and Cole connect. It never hurts to have a little bit of a spiritual guidance and support, um, there can never be enough of it, right?
I agree. I think we can bring Cole back a little bit, and I know he struggled over the years, but I think between you and I, we can get him back into knowing what faith feels like.
She gives you a grateful smile and a squeeze, and lets you move on for the sermon to begin.
I feel like Jenny and I would have a lot in common. Like we're both very faithful. We both put up with Cole, so you know.
That's true. Um, and everyone kind of sits through a very kind of boring milk toast and um, non explosive um, non-explosive sermon. Um, at the end of it, it's like about boring shit. It's like love your neighbor, be charitable, like none of the juicy good stuff. Hardly any brimstone, hardly any hellfire. So, people are fanning themselves. A couple of people are kind of drooping. Um, Everyone's had a lot of spiritual fervor and excitement over the last week or so. It seems like a little bit of a break is in order for the congregation. Although there is an opportunity for everyone to display their faith um, during the towards the tail end when the preacher, who today is one moment. Today it's council member Hiram Cook, who is starting to invoke um, the language of the angels, and people kind of in the front row start to pop off and start to speak in tongues. So everyone should roll now to keep it together. If you fail to keep it together, I want to say that something inside you, whatever that is, however you want to explain it, is up to you. But the end result is that you start speaking in tongues. So roll to keep it together.
The second time I've kept it together.
If you want to keep it in tongue, if you want to speak in tongues, you should. Okay. Willow, you keep it together. Josh, you can take stability damage or start speaking in tongues.
Nah, he's scared again.
Okay, take your stability damage. Freya, you quite literally grit your teeth. Marsha, you can take stability damage or start speaking in tongues.
Oh, she would be speaking in tongues. Ah,
Oh yeah.
Shamala! And what?
Shamala Hamala.
Shamala Hamala! And would be like, she wouldn't stand up. It probably hurts, but she'd be screaming from her seat.
Oh, and hands like this, like
And hands. Oh, yeah.
James, you taking your stability damage or are you moved by the spirit?
That's a really hard question. Like, I know everybody else had like easy peasy answers.
Yeah.
But I'm currently on the fence. It's really weird. I'm gonna go with in current stage stability damage, and I think it'd be more sad than anything else.
Oh, okay. Why sad?
I think it's because he's coming to terms with there being a supernatural.
Yeah.
Like, he very much believes it after last night and after Willow called him, like he told him, or like he told them to in the dream. So, like, there's definitely something here. And like when this kind of like the spirit kind of fills him, he's like, it's almost like he feels remorseful for having said people were faking it.
Mm,
Like maybe
okay,
they weren't.
okay, gotcha. All right, Cole, are you moved by the spirit to fake it?
Wait, no, well, that's actually my question. If he's
Uh-huh.
actually moved by the spirit, then what would happen?
Well, here is the great question about faith and religion.
Explain to me how God's revelation works, Fijo. That's what Andy just asked. Andy said, I need you to tell me.
No, 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 no. What I'm asking is like, is what in with that role with my partial success, am I actually feeling that
So
God's
let's,
spirit?
so I want to like create a bifurcation here. There, you are aware right now, Cole, that there are dark truths about the world, that there are unseen forces that
Mhm.
are moving throughout this congregation, throughout this town, and that I have left a dark mark on your family.
Mhm.
That's different from, as far as you can tell, from the beautiful, well, I mean, to some people it's beautiful, but for example, Willow might say, it is beautiful to see, to feel overwhelmed by the grace of God, by the Holy Spirit's influence, that your tongue becomes loosed and you begin to speak in the tongues of angels. Like that is not something that you think that you can explain. Um, if I don't think at this point Cole is the type of person or has the type of belief where he would spontaneously start to speak in tongues.
So here's the thing that he would be thinking. He would be thinking
Uh-huh.
he's exhausted.
Hmm.
He's exhausted because of the pressure he's feeling on him
Hmm.
for
Yeah.
his family. Um, he's exhausted because of what he experienced with the journals and the visions and the choking and all the things like that.
Hmm.
And and he kind of, he wants in a way this would be like a moment of relief if you know what I mean, if he sort of gives into it.
Yeah, and so, well, that's perfect, right? There's a piece of coal that has been compartmentalized, right? That grew up in this church, that maybe believed for the first, 10, 15 years
Hmm.
of his life that the Holy Spirit did move through people and cause them to speak in the tongues of angels, and that maybe at some point after, you know, your grandfather's death, after, you know,
Moving
going
away.
moving away, right? That belief sort of like fizzled out. But there's a kernel of it in you still. And maybe that kernel is ignited in this moment.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and so you
It might
and
not be permanent, but maybe.
yeah, so you instead of um, losing stability, you let loose.
Hmm.
What would it sound like?
I think that it would not sound like um, Martha's ecstatic tongues, but it would be more like moaning or sobbing, like to
Mm,
reflect like where he's at emotionally.
okay. So it's kind of like this catharsis, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Interesting. next to you, as soon as you start, Jenny starts.
And what does
And
her sound like?
she is like chitty 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 shamla hamla. She is all in. Her head is thrown back. Her hands are raised up to the heavens. Her other hand is clasped in yours, as she cries out in the tongue of angels.
Okay.
And slowly a quiet moves over the congregation. There's a number of you now that have become interlinked in a strange way by strange occurrences. A couple of you uh, need to have some conversations after the service. Willow, I think you can probably take the lead as to who you'd like to talk to first.
Probably Cole, since we're here now. I think we can like find a quiet moment to kind of talk about things.
Let me take a beat. Where did you put the journal?
It's probably still at home. I probably did not, because I probably haven't had nightmares about it yet. So it's probably just like under my bed or like under the mattress or something.
Okay, so let's say that the nightmare that you had about Grandpa was like especially horrific and detailed and gory and a painful as it was like magnified by your proximity to the book. Okay.
Okay.
And James, you um also clocked that.
Oh, in the dream, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
So in James's little detective notebook, it's like this part of the dream was weird somehow.
Is okay, I guess my question, just to be sure,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
do I know about the book?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that you can eventually do some roll
But not
make
from the
some.
dream.
No, not from the dream.
Got
But
it.
eventually you can make some moves to like dig into
Yeah,
that somehow.
for
Okay.
sure.
So, Willow, you're you pull Cole aside. There's probably like an office where uh the ministers will meet individually with congregants, right, for like uh counseling or whatever. You can use one of those offices if you want like total privacy, unless you want to just pull Cole over to like the aisle of the church or whatever, or if you want to stay in the sanctuary or whatever, however you want to do that.
Probably the office. Even
Okay.
if we do have privacy, I'm not going to mention the journal or our grandfather. I'm going to keep it like very general as we talk.
Okay.
Do we not go through again?
I could hear you. I'm just waiting for Willow to
Okay.
say something.
Okay, just making sure.
I could
So
see
yeah, I just want to
Andy's like moving, like nervously waiting.
like hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
So yeah, I'm gonna pull Cole into the office and be like, "Hey, I was at the gym last night and I heard some things happening in the locker room. That's a whole other issue that I don't really understand. Um, but I found your locker, and I think it was related to the locker. I had dreams last night too that didn't make a lot of sense, and I think everything is related.
You took the journal?
You just like yes, yeah. I
What,
have it. I
and
have it. It's
where is
safe.
where is it? Where is it?
I don't think here's a good place
Hmm.
to discuss that, but I have it. It's fine if you want it. I can give it back to you, but
Well, so, if we're in a, like, of this private space, I would say, I've looked at those journals over the years for a long time, but this is something new. And I would describe to him what happened with the the hand and the choking, the nightmare, when I brought it back to my house that Jenny and I shared. And I think that it has some sort of influence on those around it. We need to take all of those journals and put them somewhere safe. I don't want them in Dad's house anymore.
yeah, I agree. I don't understand what's happening because I spent countless nights reading those things and nothing like this ever happened. But
Something, yeah,
something,
something. Uh, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone.
yeah.
It's like, and he's like channeling Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, saying, "Keep it hidden, keep it safe. Don't use it.
Right.
Don't
Yeah,
open that
just
journal."
yeah, no, it's I didn't even open it. It's I took it home, hid it, and I knew I needed to talk to you before we did
Cole would pull
anything.
down the collar of his shirt and show the purple bruise marks on his neck.
Oh shit. Like that's like all Willow can come up with.
This
It's like, what the
is,
fuck is happening?
yeah, I don't know what's happening. I'm just really shook, and things are kind of shaky with Jenny right now. So I know we haven't been close for a while, but I think I think I need to lean on you a little bit if you're up to it.
For sure. And look, I know that I harp on you about faith and Jenny and Dad do too, but you gotta figure things out on your own. And I'd rather us be close again than that be a barrier.
Yeah, I just feel like there's something at play that I don't understand, and I think it's
Yeah,
dangerous. But thank you.
I agree.
Let's have coffee soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, James, no, Cole, you have a couple of things that I wanted to.
Torture me about?
No, no, no.
Are you sure?
But also, yes.
But also, yeah.
Okay, I kind of want you to roll the artifact advantage and see what you get.
Okay. We'll see what I get. Partial success.
I have information for you, but it will cost you a memory.
Okay.
Choose a memory, something important, meaningful to Cole that will be lost.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you the dagger. I'm just gonna say that he loses the memory of his first date with Jenny.
Aww.
Ouch. You. Oh, and an additional price. So we'll figure what that is later.
That wasn't enough?
No, that's the initial cost, honey.
Oh shit.
You can play interest.
So your mind as you're talking to your sibling is like kind of like spinning, right? Like
Mm.
you're trying to explain to Willow like I'm like literally up to my neck in something fucked up and terrifying, and Willow is being kind of cavalier about it. And as you're like, your mind is kind of like rolling through trying to find something um to like ground you in the moment. You think about a memory that you go back to often for comfort and for safety, and that's of your first date. What did you do on your first date with Jenny?
Um,
You can't remember because it's gone.
yeah, I can't remember because it's gone. That's right. Shit. I was trying to think of a good memory that was snatched away, but
The
this is better still.
savagery.
Mhm.
And there's this like you feel like this sizzling or fizzling inside of you, and this intuitive knowledge kind of blooms inside of you. You think that if you and Willow come together and really see these journals together, you'll be able to get something meaningful out of them, and you'll be able to dig deeper and learn more. And yeah, so what do you do?
Is Willow still there?
I
Or
would hang out
what's
until
happening?
we're
Okay. Um, I would say let's find a time to meet up tomorrow. Tomorrow being, I could be Monday, right? This is Sunday.
yes. Mhm.
Um, can you think of a reason that we can go to Dad's to gather up the journals that are up there? He
I'm sure I could
last
think of
time I
something.
was there, he didn't have many kind words for me.
Yeah, he doesn't have many of those for me either, but I'm sure I can swing something. I probably
All
left some
right.
things there when I left.
Okay. All right. And then I would go back to Jenny.
Yeah,
It's so sad.
it really is. That
I
sucks.
mean, I wanted to make a really conflicted character who gets beaten up, and so I think I'm succeeding.
I think so, yeah.
All right. So, all right, on that note, we will leave the rest of our Sunday afternoon for next time. Thank you all for uh, putting really getting engaged in the story, and thank you for those that watched. And we will see everybody next Thursday.
Okay.
Good night.
Sounds good.
Thanks for running.